Hi, Geezer.
Hello, Favazz. How are you?
Good, man. First of all, on the road, you're referred to as T1, and Terry Welty, your bass tech, is T2. He says hello today. He's here in St. Louis, doing his thing with Foreigner.
Yeah. He comes and visits occasionally when they're in the same town as me.
Oh. He does. So let me ask you about the Premier League first. Aston Villa, my team is Manchester City. And, yeah, I know. So your team is Aston Villa, and they had a good year this year.
Yeah, they're in the finished fourth in the Prem, so they're in the Champions League. We'll see how it goes next season.
Yeah, they were all right. And I think of you every time I hear Aston this, Aston that, because Terry Welty always said that that's where you were from.
Yeah. In fact, I was born probably, the Aston Villa ground was literally at the end of my road.
Oh, really? Wow. We're talking to Geezer Butler here on KSHE, and you have a book called Into the Void. Geezer, did you hold back at all on this book? I mean, are there stories about some people that you left out that you wish you would have put in?
No, I didn't leave them out. The editors did. Originally, the manuscript was like 500 pages long.
Wow.
And sent it, and the editors were going, "You can't say that. You can't say that," and all this kind of thing. And so it was like. It went from 500 pages to 300 pages. So, there was quite a bit left out.
Wow.
Because the editors said, unless you can prove it or have a film of it or have a letter from these people, then you can't say it because, they're terrified of being sued.
So I mean, would Ozzy or Tony or Bill really go that route with you?
No, not them.
Yeah.
People in the management companies and record companies and publishing companies and different things like that you're not allowed to say things about.
So you MF'd them, or you wanted to MF them, and they wouldn't let you.
Yeah. That's about it, yeah.
Did you? So you suggested the name of Black Sabbath. Why don't you tell the folks about that? How that happened?
Well, originally there was a film called Black Sabbath, and my brother, who was older than me, went to see it, and he came home and he says, "Oh, you got to see this film called Black Sabbath." But I was too young at the time, but I loved the title Black Sabbath, and I just thought, if I ever have a band, that's what I'm going to call it, Black Sabbath. And eventually, when we were called Earth, we had to change the name because there was another Earth band at the time. And I suggested to the rest of the guys, why don't we call the band Black Sabbath? They loved the name, so that's how it stuck.
Beautiful. I love that story. We're talking to Geezer Butler here on KSHE. Into the Void is the name of the book. Did you, let's see, Ronnie James Dio. He came along after Ozzy left for a couple records, and then he was gone, and then he came back. And what are your, I know what they are, but tell the people what your thoughts are about Ronnie James Dio.
Well, it came along when we all thought that Sabbath was at its end. We'd sort of got really disillusioned at the time when Ozzy left, and the albums had sort of diminished in sales by that time. We didn't know what direction to take the band in, and we thought we'll give it one more try. And Tony Iommi says, I've just met this guy called Ronnie James Dio, who's just left Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, and he's looking for a band. And we had about 4 or 5 ideas for songs already written, and we says, well, let's bring him in. We'll do these songs that we've got and see how what he thinks of them. and he came in. He just came out with all these incredible vocal lines, and it sort of totally revitalised us all.
He sure did. He revitalized me at age 15. I mean, I think Heaven and Hell came out right about when I was 15 or 16. And I remember listening to that on vinyl in my parents' basement.
Yeah, it was a great album. He just brought like a whole new level to the band.
When you wrote War Pigs and Paranoid and those things hit, man, were you guys freaking out?
Absolutely. I mean, we freaked out. We freaked out when we heard that our first album had gone into the charts, because we literally, we did the first album in 2 days and sort of forgot about it.
Wow.
We didn't think it was ever going to do anything, but it was just, we mainly did it so that we could have something to show to our parents, physical, to go home with a physical album in our hands and say, look, this is what we've done. And then we were driving to a gig one day, and we were listening to the album chart show, and it says, like, in at 25, Black Sabbath, and we couldn't believe it.
I bet. So some of the book that you wrote, Into the Void, has some pictures of your own stash, if you will. Can you tell us about any of those at all?
Which ones?
Let's go with you and Ozzy.
The one where we're stoned.
I wasn't going to say that, Geezer, but yeah. So you liked picking pictures out from your own personal stash, right?
Yeah. That's what I had to do.
Into the Void, once again, is the book from Geezer Butler. And, every time, that, Jimmy Page or Robert Plant is interviewed, they ask about Zeppelin. But Sabbath, though, if they were to get back together, and you have said it, and Ozzy has said it, and Tony, but Bill Ward is the only one that is not on board. What's his deal?
Well, he had a heart attack years ago, like when we did the first reunion tour and album, and his health isn't the best. So it'd be great if we could do like 2 or 3 songs as a final thing with Bill Ward, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, that's too bad. We're talking to Geezer Butler, and Geezer, thank you for calling in to KSHE. Tell Gloria I said hello, and I don't know if you remember, but I interviewed you with video. Gloria set it up, and I think Terry, I don't know, but at the Family Arena in St. Charles, and you were great that night, and you were great today.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
All right. Into the Void from Geezer Butler. We'll see you, Geezer.
Cheers, Favazz.
All right. See ya.